I want to address this call for Brian Dable to be fired. I think it's crazy when you want to evaluate whether or not Brian Dable is the right coach for the New York Giants. When you look at the Giants offense, look at all the plays, wide open guys. You'll see a lot of guys open, right? Well, that tells me that you got a coach who can scheme it. Now, players have got to execute it, and that starts with the guy who handles the football. But if you think Brian Dable is the wrong coach for the Giants, and for today's NFL, you're wrong. Dave, you have a wide receiver, your number one draft pick, who's now starting to develop bad habits. I look at film, you look at film, he looks at film, you guys probably point it out. Don't be afraid to coach your good players.
Well, there's also been a standard set here with some receivers that have played played for this franchise. You know, whether it's Homer Jones in the late 60s, and the Giants aren't known for their receivers, but Odell Beckham Jr. set a standard for what an elite wide receiver looks like. But there have been guys that have stepped on the field and were the best player on the field from day one.
Yeah.
And right now, it's not looking that way.
Next year is not promised. You've got to do what you have to do this year. Don't tell me when he gets a better quarterback, he'll be better. No, he's developing bad habits.
Correct.
And young players who develop bad habits become old players with bad habits. They become old players that you can't win with, right? You want to be the guy that everyone fears, right? So you've got to continuously, no matter what the frustration level is, got to continue to be a high level, attention to detail guy.
You and I have been big Daniel Jones supporters. We said at the beginning of the year, this is the final 17-game test. I'm not sure if it's going to be 17 games at this point. Unfortunately, Carl, it just appears that his confidence, decision-making, everything has unraveled before our eyes. He looks nothing. Forget about like the player from 22. He looks nothing like the player from his rookie year.
I know people are going to say, well, if he had a better quarterback, they would X, Y, and Z. Yeah, if quarterback played better, they probably would have 14 more points a game. That's not a disputable issue. But the fact remains, they can't stop anybody. The fact remains that despite how bad the quarterback has played, there are opportunities that are missed, that are dropped. And that's not excusing the quarterback or making an excuse because he has not played well. The fact that Bobby Okereke is a shell of who he was last year, and it ain't because he's a worse player. It's because they are not doing something. I don't know what it is, Shane Bowen, what it is, but this got to be a player who factors in your defense.